Are talking Detroit Lions news for you folks today, and in this video we're going to break it all down. First off, Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to do a little breakdown and prediction for this game coming up on Sunday. Jared Goff nominated for Air Player of the Week. We're going to talk about DeAndre Swift getting praise. Could he be elite? Power rankings. Lions are moving up. We got to talk about that. And of course, Golden Tate talking about Amon-Ra and Dan Campbell on Hank Fraley. But before we get into today's video, if you enjoy hammering nails and instead of hitting nails, you decide to consistently hit your fingers, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, you can hurt yourself. Also, take that like button with you and let the hammer nail it in. Let's get into today's Lions news. Let's do a quickie really quick and talk about how Jared Goff is nominated for Air Player of the Week. First off, shout out to Jared Goff, 20 for 34, 256, but he got those 4 touchdowns. Will he get this? Probably not. There was other quarterbacks out there that I think did a phenomenal job. Jalen Hurts killed it last night against the Minnesota Vikings. Tua Tagovailoa for Minnesota did a phenomenal job with almost 500 yards passing and 6 touchdowns. But it's good to see him get nominated and get some praise because he deserves some praise, folks. He did a pretty good job going against the Washington Commanders. It wasn't perfect, but that's not what Jared Goff is. He is not the perfect quarterback. That's okay, but he helped his team win, and that's what it's all about. So I appreciate the praise for him getting it. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. Folks, we're almost there. We are 67 subscribers away. In 24 hours from now, I'd love to have 25K. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, do it, do it, do it. Let's get to 25K. Trying to climb the Chat Sports ladder, and with your help, it can happen. Let's continue on here with DeAndre Swift getting a ton of love from you can call him a analyst there, Brent Sobleski from NFL. He says, a healthy Swift plays behind one of the NFL's best offensive lines. The Lions' passing attack is coming thanks to Amon-Ra St. Brown ascension and improved weapons elsewhere at wide receiver. Detroit Lions featured back is the potential to be in the same conversation with Indianapolis Colts' Jonathan Taylor, Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry, and Cleveland Browns' Nick Chubb by the end of the season. What do I think about this? Well, absolutely should be in the conversation right now with it. Guy's got 200 yards rushing, 20 carries. This guy is doing big play after big play after big play. He's taken a leadership role. We've seen it in the postgame. You know, when they won the game, it was DeAndre Swift leading the way. He is dominating every possession. He's averaging 10 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift is on fire, and he absolutely should be in the conversation with these guys right now. Absolutely. He is the reason why the Lions are in these games right now. He's the reason why this offense is humming on all cylinders. It's the running game. It's Swift, his ability to find the hole and accelerate. He has just done a great job, and you got to also give credit to Deuce Staley here for pushing him to believe that he is one of the best, because right now he is acting like it. I love what he's doing. Now, hopefully he can stay healthy. I know he's been nicked up with the ankle injury. The Lions want to make sure that he's good to go through all the games this year because we do need him. We just need him on the field even if he's not going to take the football and run with it, but it forces defenses to pay attention, and it opens up the pass game. Remember when we have Calvin Johnson? Even when he was a decoy, man, him on the field really changed defenses. So it's the same situation right here with DeAndre Swift, and he has become one of the best running backs in the NFL. All right now, all pro, for sure. Now, like I talked to him at training camp. I said he's going to the Pro Bowl. He says, don't play. Well, I should have said you're going to the All-Pro. Man, he really said should have done a play because he's done a great job. Everything he did in the offseason, getting in physical shape is exactly why he's in this position right now. Let's continue on with power rankings. The Detroit Lions are moving up in the power rankings. Why? Well, because they kicked some butt against the Washington Commanders. And like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles are a dark horse for the NFC. They're a phenomenal team, and the Lions put up a fight, and the Eagles just smoked the Minnesota Vikings previously. USA Today is a little, they were kind of, maybe they fell what we were thinking. They said 18, Monday Morning Quarterback 23, NFL.com 26, Athletic 26, Touchdown Wire 26, ESPN 27, Sporting News 27, Yahoo Sports 27, The Ringer 29, and 30 for CBS Sports. Apparently they're on crack cocaine over there in CBS. But after the victory on Sunday, we're moving on up to the sky here. USA Today 14, a top team, top one half in the NFL. Monday Morning Quarterback said 12. They love what Detroit's Lions doing there. NFL.com at 16, put them at midway. Athletic 14, Touchdown Wire, ESPN at 20. So a move up of 7 there. Sporting News 21, Yahoo Sports 21, Ringer 26, and CBS Sports still on that crack cocaine at 26. What do I think about this? Well, I like that the Detroit Lions are getting the love, but they should have done their work a little bit and noticed that this team was better, at least from an offensive standpoint. I mean, clearly they were better. If you were to pay attention to in training camp, and a lot of these people had representatives, whether you be watching on the NFL Network, just anything, you would have seen that. You'd have seen even in preseason the offense start, but sometimes legacy media is not fully on board, and they kind of just stick with the same old narrative, the same old media. We got same old lines. How about same old media there? So it's nice that we are getting the recognition that we deserve. But what is your ranking, folks? Let me know in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment for this video. 1 through 32. Do you think the Lions are the best team in the NFL? Put 1. If you think they're the worst, put 32. Curious to see what you think. Golden Tate showing some love to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I love it. We love Golden Tate. At least I do. I love what he came to the Detroit Lions here. And Amon-Ra appreciates him because in a tweet, sky is the limit for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dude is an up-and-coming star with a star emoji. If one doesn't already consider him one, well, I do consider him one, and I do appreciate one of my favorite players as a Detroit Lion during his tenure here, Golden Tate, showing some love to Amon-Ra St. Brown, kind of similar styles. Yak, underappreciated wide receiver, big plays. Golden Tate, he was a great player for the Lions. He's a great player when he played for Seattle, but he was underappreciated for Seattle. Comes to Detroit and does a phenomenal job. Does a great job for the Lions and getting that yak and helping us win games. I mean, I had great moments there when we were overseas in London and the Detroit Lions beating the Atlanta Falcons. Thank you to Golden Tate for a lot of those plays. So I love it. And Amon-Ra St. Brown deserves the recognition because I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is ascending to that level of top-tier wide receivers in the NFL. And I seen it all in preseason. I was telling folks, man, this dude could get 1,600 yards receptions. I got laughed at and mocked. But when you watched him consistently defeat the defense on every play, Jared Goff throwing it to him, he took it up another level. And this is what you're getting. You're getting a guy who his mental is perfect for football. This guy just strives to get better. He doesn't pat himself on the back. He wants to get better. This guy has everything you want in a wide receiver. He's not a diva. He's all about getting that work done. Dan Campbell spoke on a guy who's definitely not a diva, who's extremely underappreciated. That is the offensive line coach, Mr. Hank Fraley. He says he's very important, Campbell said about Fraley. Hank's got a good feel for it, having played the position, but also coached it. And it gets real feel for the guys that they know well how to develop talent. He just got real good feel how to pull them out. He continue on there. I meant that's one thing that's not always. Then when you've played at a level like he has and played a long time, and you're not the best athlete, like I wasn't the best athlete, but you've got to understand the technique. You can give guys things they need to survive, and that's what Hank's able to do. And so it's one thing to do that, but man, you've got to be able to communicate, and you've got to be able to motivate and push these guys, because sometimes, man, when you're ex-player, there's a lot of guys that'll start backing off and taking it easy because you feel a little bad for them, because you know that's like, man, that's hard. It's hard, but you can't do that. You've got to continue to push, and you got a good balance of that, and he's very important to us. Hank Fraley could be the biggest star on this team that not a lot of people give credit for. Well, the Detroit Lions fans do. Let's get right there. A lot of Lions fans know about his ability, but he should be getting a lot of love in the media, because what he did with 3 starting players out in this game against the Commanders and able to pull off what they did is amazing. Dan Skipper, huge shout out to him. Frank Haley helped him out. I mean, what he has done with our backup center, Evan Brown. Phenomenal job. Evan Brown should be a starter somewhere, but he's here. And, Stenberg, I know he's getting a lot of crap from PFF, but I thought he's done it for a number 3 guard. He's done a pretty good job, and that's Hank Fraley, ability to get the best out of players. Ability to coach up players. That is something that we have lacked in Detroit for many years. How many times have we talked about this as fans? Let me know in the comment section, where you draft a player and that's the best that they are. The coaching staff never really gets the best out of players. That's not the case here. You come to Detroit, at least for the offensive line standpoint, and you just get better, and better. And that's because damn good coaching by Hank Fraley. He is an absolute G. Let's go ahead and talk about Lions versus Vikings. There's some matchups here. I wanted to bring this in and to do a side-by-side comparison, because I think that's really important. Before the game yesterday, the media had the Minnesota Vikings as a 7.5-point favorite, demolishing the Detroit Lions. I think that's laughable, even before the game. Why? Because the Lions and Vikings are always coming down to a last drive. They did it last year. It was a last possession of both games. So it's an NFC North. It's never generally a blowout between these two. But after the game yesterday, I want to do a side-by-side comparison and give you who I think has an advantage here. When it comes to the quarterback position, it's close on yards between Cousins and Goff, but it's not close on touchdowns and interceptions. Jared Goff's got 6 touchdowns to 1 interception, unlike Kirk Cousins, who had 3 interceptions. Man, last night, he looked awful. He could have had more. His best receiver was Darius Slay. So I'm going to give the edge here to Lions quarterback Jared Goff because of the turnovers. How about running game? You would expect Cook to cook us. You expect him to be the better running back, but that's not the case right now. Swift has more yards than him by nearly double, and averaging 10 yards a carry, and compared to Cook, who's 4.1, and he's got 2 touchdowns. So I'm giving the edge to DeAndre Swift on the run game. But wide receiver, I got to give the edge here to Jefferson. What a phenomenal wide receiver. Regardless of what the offense is doing for Minnesota, this guy is a baller. 15 for 232, 15.5 average and 2 touchdowns. But Amon-Ra is not that bad either. 17, 180, 10.6, and 3 touchdowns. But I will give the edge here. And we all know Harrison Smith. This guy is a killer on defense. I'm going to give them the edge here at 18 solo tackles to assist, to 20 total, 1 interception. Now, Tracy Walker's not bad as well. And obviously, we could do a million other matchups, offensive line and all that. I just want to do a quick one. What do I think is going to happen in this game? You ready? Before the season started, I said Minnesota wins this game. I changed it, folks. I have the Detroit Lions winning this game 31-30. I think the Lions are better than even a little bit in what I thought, in all honesty. And I think the Minnesota Vikings, they're not as bad as what they did last night. They're good. It was a bad game. But they're not as good as I thought they were after week 1. So I'm going to give a Lions squeaking out a fast game at 31-30. So let me know who wins the game. The Detroit Lions, L for Lions, V for Vikings. That's going to be a pinned comment for this video. We're riding high, folks. We're going up there, and we're sending if the Detroit Lions win this game on Sunday. We have a chance to be 3-1 against Seattle. Could you believe that? Crazy. Crazier things, folks. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, 25K. Let's get at it right now. Adios.